Well, ladies and gentlemen, so welcome to our Planets Through Ascendant series. And this week we are going to be covering our video of Sun in the 5th house in the sign of Aries for Sagittarius ascendant people. And what happens when Sun is sitting in the 5th house in the sign of Aries while it's ruling the sign of Leo, which is the 9th house for Sagittarius ascendant folks. And this is different from my, series of planets through signs or planets through houses, because now we're combining the two energies together. And we're trying to find out exactly what is going to be happening. And as always, if you do not know where your sun is, if it's in the 5th house, what ascendant you are, all your other astrological details, for that, check out the links here. Check out my full astrological report, including my books, Astrology, Conjunction Aspects, and Mahadashas at the Speed of Light, including all my consultations here. So, Sun in the 5th house in the sign of Aries. Well, first of all, if you're a Sagittarius ascendant and Sun is in the 5th house in the sign of Aries, well, what this signifies, first of all, is that it's creating something known as Lakshmi Yoga. Because the 9th Lord is in the 5th house exalted. So if let's say the 9th Lord or the 5th Lord are in the 9th house or 5th house and one of them becomes exalted, Mul Trikon in its own sign, it's known as Lakshmi Yoga. And especially if you, let's say, have the 5th Lord with Sun in the 5th house in Aries, it can also create Mahalakshmi Yoga, especially if Jupiter is there as well as the ascendant Lord. So Lakshmi, many people think it's I'm going to have wealth. Oh, yes. Lakshmi Yoga. Remember, there's a difference between Lakshmi Yoga and Dhan Yoga. Dhan Yoga is not Lakshmi Yoga. Lakshmi Yoga is not Dhan Yoga. Remember that. Lakshmi Yoga is a yoga, truly is a yoga of knowledge. Wealth of knowledge, wealth through your spouse, wealth through understanding of women, especially like with this yoga, the wealth, if you want to know something about the wealth with this, it'll really come when the Lakshmi comes inside the house. In Indian culture, there's two ways when they say Lakshmi has come in the home. One, when a man marries a woman. Number two, when you have birth of a daughter. These are the two things that they say Lakshmi has come in. That's when the money comes in. But this is the Lakshmi of knowledge, wealth of knowledge. This is the person who is reborn in their own ancestral lineage. Okay? They have come back. Pretty much, especially if you have this yoga. Actually, I'm sorry, not you. Shows your child, one of your child, especially the firstborn or the thirdborn, will be an ancestor coming back through you within the same lineage. And especially though it shows that this particular person, meaning you, not your child, you are here to understand the divine knowledge of spirituality, religion, and also what's going to happen with this placement. Your guru or your teacher, if you're lucky enough to find a guru, which depends obviously on your Jupiter, your guru will become like your father, and you'll be like the child to your guru. Because remember, Sun is now ruling the 9th house. 9th house represents gurus. Higher knowledge, higher wisdom, philosophy, religion, postgrad education, represents preaching, pilgrimage, foreign travels. And this also shows one will travel to distant lands to attain high education, very good education. Usually Sun in the 5th house in Aries, I have seen people go into civil engineering. People go into aeronautics. People go into mathematics, especially with the aspect of all the malefic planets. There's great love for political science, history. But this is that one placement that really makes a person very strongly get involved in government. Like either government litigation or social reform, social welfare, somebody who wants to enter politics to, pretty much make some positive change. And this naturally represents a very good character of a person. Unless, of course, your moon is somewhere placed in certain nakshatra, then we can see you might be of a questionable character. Obviously, I don't want to name those nakshatras because I don't want to just blame people. Oh, you're this nakshatra, you're bad. It's not that. It's just that the story of the nakshatra plays out in a certain way that in this day and age, it's known as, oh, this person is bad, so bad, you know. This also shows that your father would either be in government or would be very good in fields of law, administration, and your father could also be a head of his school, like somebody who, like your father could be a principal of his school. Especially I've seen if Jupiter is with Sun, one will build a school for children. So we see that. Sun, which is not only your father but also represents government, shows one gets favor from the government, and especially favor in relation to your education. Like, you know how there's government funding, especially in US, when it comes to education, you can get government funding. Because here, remember, Sun in the 5th house is exalted in the sign of Aries. But especially the type of nakshatra Sun will be placed in will play a certain story out, you know. But we'll get into that later. This is a placement where, especially, you know, when I was talking to you about the ancestor, your father from some life is coming back as your child. And especially if it's confirmed in the Saptamsha, the D7 chart of children, most definitely, especially if the 9th Lord is in the 5th house, and if it's Sun again. Let's say you have Vargottama Lagna, Vargottama Sun in the Saptamsha, most definitely shows your father from 3 lifetimes ago, 10 lifetimes ago, 20 lifetimes ago is coming back as your own child. Perhaps there's some karma related to that. Perhaps your father coming as your child will help you to gain recognition in the world, to gain fame in the world. Also, these people become very good in speculation, very good with you know, investments. They take charge of their investments. But especially, as you know, Sun is a malefic planet. Aries is a malefic technical sign. So most of the time I've seen a person gets technical education. If Mars aspects Sun along with Jupiter and Saturn, most definitely you can see a person may attain education in law, logic, statistics, or engineering. And this is also shows Sun in the 5th house. You are born to become an expert in mantras. Somehow you'll be very good with like reciting mantras, memorizing mantras, creating your own mantras, like custom mantras. Because as you know, wherever Sun sits, it becomes like this light. Like imagine like a diya. If you make a chart, make like a Vedic astrology chart, whether South Indian, North Indian style, make a really nice chart with like brownish color, make it look nice, and then put a diya in the 5th house and just turn the lights off. That's what Sun is. So Sun will illuminate the 5th house and the entire house through the 5th house. Your entire life can change through reciting mantras, ancient knowledge, classical literature. But also this can delay the significance of children. Like children may come with delay. Because remember, Sun is a mild malefic planet. Wherever it sits, it's going to kind of like burn the significance of that house. So it can show that children may come late, maybe after like 28 or 29. Okay? So guys, this was my analysis of Sun in the 5th house for Sagittarius ascendant people. If you're new to my channel, subscribe below. And if you don't know where your Sun is placed, all my books, reports, consultation, for that, check out the links here. Otherwise, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.